Equity markets, what do you know about equity? How is, how do you define equity?
Equity market is basically the share market which the BSE and the NSE.
What is equity?
Equity is your stake in a country, your stake in something. So equity in a company is your stake in a company. How much that company owes to you and how much the performance of the
Company owes to you. Okay. So what is equity mean? Does it give you ownership?
It actually depends upon the percentage of equity that a person has.
Percentage?
The amount of
like
equity.
If somebody has only 1% share of a company, he's not, will he be owner to a certain extent or not?
Sir, no.
No.
Sir,
who will be owner?
He will be the owner, but he will not have a major stake in the board, in decision making.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, suppose you have 1% shares of a company X.
You are the owner.
Do you have 1% ownership of the company or not?
You are the owner of the company.
That's what I'm asking. Right. So it gives ownership. This is how we define equity.
Yes.
Isn't it? So you follow Indian equity markets. Like in what way?
Sir, I basically map the news of the current news and the rise or fall of the corresponding stocks or the area. Basically, if an oil prices have increased, how it has impacted Reliance
What is
share.
insider trading?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
Insider trading is if I'm working in some company and grasping information from that company and using it for my benefit by investing my amount in share market.
So it is ethical or unethical?
This is unethical.
Unethical. Okay. And do you perceive India as a truly democratic country?
Sir, there are restrictions on freedom of speech and expression. So, for maintaining of peace and national security and sovereignty. So, an individual might find his or her speech restricted. So, in that sense, from the perspective of that person, they can say that it's not a truly democratic country because I'm not able to voice my concerns. From the individual perspective.
Achha, what is democracy?
So, democracy is if I'm on my behalf, if I'm appointing someone to run the country, in this scenario the country, and he or she is accountable to me for whatever is happening.
But who is accountable to whom in our country? Are politicians whom you elect, are they accountable?
So they have to be accountable in the parliament, but again there are.
But we find a lot of corruption all around.
There are ways to.
So what is democracy? That's what my question is saying. You are telling the characteristics. I'm saying what is democracy?
Sir, welfare and upliftment of all, because
that is also some characteristic in a democratic state. You may have welfare democratic state. What is the democracy means what?
So voice to the masses basically.
So it is basically, demo means people. Cracy means rule of the people, for the people, by the people. That is democracy. Do we have democracy now? That is my question.
In true sense, if we see that we are electing people, we are electing representative on our behalf. So and if they are accountable to us, then it's a democracy. But in the global scenario.
Yeah. Carry on, please.
But sir, in the overall scenario, if we see the restrictions on which person has over speech and liberty and the other restrictions, then there are concerns which countries outside India have also pointed out.
Okay, you have messed up the entire answer.
There is a restriction of speech and...
Sorry, ma'am.
Anyway, sorry.
Now, are you aware there is something called direct democracy and indirect democracy? Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir.
What is direct democracy?
Direct democracy is when the people itself are like in Switzerland.
Like in Switzerland?
Like in Switzerland.
Okay. And some of the Scandinavian countries have some direct democracy. So what do they do in direct democracy?
Sir, I am not sure that how they govern the entire...
Do they elect their representatives?
No, that would be indirect democracy then.
But that is also a democratic country. They also elect their representatives.
Okay.
All that direct democracy is that they will have instruments like referendum or plebiscite or things like that, where people can directly have a voice. Right? Do we have direct democracy or indirect democracy?
Indirect democracy.
Indirect democracy. Tell me two major national problems of India.
I think unemployment,
Very good. Yes.
and second would be a lot behavioral laggards, basically not willing to.
Behavioral aspects would come later, but I mean, you said unemployment. I agree. All of us would agree. What is the second one? Do you foresee corruption or poverty as a problem, massive problem in India?
Poverty
Which one would
and-
you give preference to, poverty or corruption? Suppose you were in charge of the affairs, and you are to have preference, you have to make preference. Which issue would you tackle first? You would tackle corruption first or poverty first?
So corruption first.
Corruption.
Because
Is corruption root cause of poverty or poverty root cause of corruption?
so I think it works in a twin way.
No. Suppose a person is poor, he is likely to be corrupt. Suppose a person is rich, he is also likely to be corrupt.
Yes,
Is it?
yes, both, because in the second case, when the person is rich, the mindset which a person has, that the greedy mindset, the expansion
But
of
in India,
wealth.
what form of corruption we have? Poor people are likely to be more corrupt, or rich people are likely to be more corrupt?
For
A
small,
lot of studies have taken place. You have studied sociology,
yes sir,
so you must have studied something on that.
yes sir. So the poor people would be
Suppose your salary as an IAS officer, what is presently the salary of an IAS officer? Are you aware of that?
I think 70 to 80,000.
Okay. Suppose your salary in the beginning is raised to 5 lakh rupees per month. Are you likely to be less corrupt or more corrupt?
Less corrupt.
Less corrupt.
Less corrupt.
So roots of corruption lie in poverty.
Because a person wants to get done his work very fast. And
So we should tackle poverty first or corruption first?
corruption first.
Not poverty.
Poverty.
So if we suppose there is no corruption, will poverty be eliminated? Suppose there is everybody is hard honest.
No.
Will corruption be eliminated?
In the first case.
But
no.
suppose there is no poverty in the country, will corruption be eliminated?
No.
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 Are rich countries so corrupt as India is? Switzerland, is it so corrupt? Sweden, Norway? What is poverty? What is corruption index?
Corruption index.
Have you heard of it?
Yes, sir. Transparency
What is it?
International.
And where does India stand in that?
In 80 to 90.
No.
95 or 96.
Why rich countries are less corrupt?
Because the people, all of them earn a minimum
So by
amount
the
of
same
money.
token, then which problem should be handled first?